Buongiorno a tutti, mi chiamo Charlotte e oggi facciamo un video sulla poesia di Igor Sibaldi. Non so se sia intitolato così, ma questa è la prima, questo è quello che dice la prima linea. I'm looking there, ok, guardo lì. Cara ragazza, comincia così. Non so se questo sia il titolo esatto, forse si chiama Kaire, perché ho trovato scritto su una scultura in Italia questa poesia e ho dovuto trovarla cercando su internet. Dunque non so esattamente come si chiama, ma lo scrittore, l'autore del testo si chiama Igor Sibaldi. Hi everyone, what I'm saying here is that I'm looking at a text or a poem, I think it's a poem, and the author, the writer is called Igor Sibaldi, scritto così Igor Sibaldi, and the poem or the text starts cara ragazza, but I don't think that's the actual title because I haven't been able to actually buy the book it's from, but I found iterations of this poem published online, like published on a Facebook post, but also I happened upon it when I was walking through the Italian Alps in the Valle d'Aosta recently, and I saw a sculpture made of wood, and on the wooden posts that you could turn around were these words, and I burst into tears. Ho pianto molto. I really did cry a lot when I was reading this because it spoke to me. So we're just going to call it Cara Ragazza for now, until I can verify what it's called. So Italian club members, today, the first Tuesday of the month, you're going to receive a handout that looks like this. It'll be in a PDF format. C'è la mia bambina qua e anche la nonna, ok? Dunque sentite forse il rumore di loro in casa, ok? A casa mia. So my daughter, my baby daughter, and my mother, her nonna, her grandmother, she actually calls her mamma, are in my house. So if you can hear noises, that's what it is. Scusatemi. È così la vita. Life is such as life, I should say. Right, so here we have the poem. I'm going to read it out to you, then we're going to put the language on here. Okay, and I hope you like it as much as I do. Okay. Cara ragazza, gioisci. È bene che impari a gioire, perché ti servirà. E devi imparare da te, perché non è una cosa che gli altri sanno insegnare. La gente ha talmente paura della gioia. That's the bit that got me. Immagino che te ne sarai già accorta. Quando vedono la gioia di qualcuno, i più si innervosiscono. Questo è vero, that's true. Si sentono in qualche modo defraudati e quando poi provano loro stessi un po' di gioia, allora fanno di tutto per sbarazzarsene. La sfogano in fretta, come se fosse uno starnuto, e intanto più o meno segretamente si rattristano, perché tanto li hanno inculcato che non meritano cose tanto belle. Tu invece impari, preparati. Tu invece impari, preparati. Okay. While we're going through this, there's a few words that I'll have to just double check because the meanings are kind of similar, and also there's quite a few translations for them. So I will be using wordreference.com. I would advise you go use that, get the app, it's great. I can't show you because I'm using my phone to actually record this. So let's look at the start. Cara ragazza. So this is addressing someone in the to form. It's informal and it's a singular form of address, and it's obviously feminine. Cara ragazza, that means dear girl. I'm going to underline the adjectives in this. There's only 3 or 4. Cara means dear. Okay, it can mean dear, or it can mean expensive. Actually, caro, cara. So it's got those 2 meanings, like cherished or expensive, just like in English. Like we start a letter in English, dear such and such, and we could say, oh, that's very dear, that is. That's very dear. Not everyone would use that word if you're talking about like an item, an object, but I would. It's quite dear. It's quite expensive. Okay, so if you're an Italian learning English, then we can use the word dear, D-E-A-R, when we're talking about something that is not cheap. It's like the antonym. But it can also mean something that's precious to you. It's a dear friend. Okay. Cara ragazza. Ragazza means girl. Ragazzo, with an O at the end, would mean boy. Gioisci. Gioisci. That's this to form in the present tense of the verb gioire. Gioire. So you've got a G and an I, that makes it a soft G sound. And then you've got an O, just to complicate things. G-O. And then you've got an I again. Gioire. Gioire, gioire, gioire. I like that word. And it means rejoice. Oh, rejoice. But we don't say that word very much in English because it's quite like we'd say like be happy or celebrate or be joyful. It's got like a kind of religious connotation. Rejoice. So, dear girl, be joyful. Rejoice. Let's just call it rejoice for now. But it comes from the verb to rejoice. È bene che impari a gioire. It's good that you're learning to rejoice. È bene che. It is good that, or it's bene is actually an adverb rather than an adjective. So I won't underline that one. But it means it's good, okay? Okay, impari, that's from imparare, which is an ARE verb. It's in the to form and it ends with I. As does this verb gioire. Gioire ends with an I, because in the present tense, the to form verbs tend to end with an I sound, okay? An I in Italian. Gioisci. È bene che impari a gioire. So you learn to do something. You use the verb imparare plus the preposition a plus the infinitive verb rejoice. Gioire. Perché? It's good that you're learning, or you learn to rejoice because. Perché? Little cute accent over the E. Ti servirà. There's an accent, a grave accent over the A. Servirà, that is the future tense, and it's the reflexive, or it's the verb servire. It will be useful to you, it will serve you, okay? Ti is like a object pronoun here, or direct object pronoun. It means to you, it will be useful to you. And it's also the impersonal, so the opposite of formal. Informal is the informal to form of address, okay? That's why it's ti. So, dear girl, rejoice. It is good that you're learning to rejoice because it will be useful to you. E devi, and you must. So all the new lines in the poem, ho notato, I noticed, start with a capital, like a large letter, even if it's a run-on sentence or phrase, okay? That's like a poetic convention that some people choose to have, so I've kept that in. But when I've written it out on here, the lines don't necessarily correspond to the published version. E devi means and, you have to or you must. Note that e here has the grave accent, and we've got e here without, so this means it is from the verb essere, it is good that, and this means and. So they look and sound almost the same, but that one's got an accent on it, and the one with the accent, the grave accent, is from the verb essere, it is, he, she, or it is. Okay, so it's a third person present. E devi is useful because it's a, what's the name of the verb? Modal verb. It's a modal verb. The verb dovere, it means to have to or must or ought. There's a sense of obligation. Dovere. And the useful thing about this verb is it, when it's conjugated, like it is there in the to form of the present tense, devi, io devo, I have to, devo, devi, deve, dobbiamo, it's a bit unusual, isn't it? It's very irregular. Dovete, devono. So have a look at that. It's useful because it means I must. If you want to make it I must not, you say non devo. But here it's in the to form, like you must do something. You follow it with an infinitive verb. Conjugated verb, conjugated modal verb, like dovere, is followed by an infinitive, and it's wonderful. So watch this. Devi imparare, so you must learn, da te. Da te means on your own or by yourself, okay? Like you have to do it. The word for, or the phrase for DIY, like do it yourself, when you do something yourself, like, you know, fix something in your house or do the painting or whatever, in Italian it's called fai da te, okay? Like fai, from the verb fare, to do, and it's in the to form of the present tense, and then da te. Fai da te is like do it yourself, DIY. Sometimes I say these things and then I have to like, yeah, it's definitely true. I just have to check because, you know, maybe I haven't taught that before. So you have to do it yourself. You have to learn how to do things yourself. E devi imparare, brackets, a gioire, to be joyful, to rejoice, da te. So on its own, that means by yourself, right? Te, like te stessi or te stesso, te stessa, yourself. Perché, so we had that before. Here this perché has a small p because it's like the continuation of a sentence. But here it's got a capital P because on the poem, in the structure of the poem, it's actually on a separate line starting with perché. So it's a separate thought, but the same continues from the previous thought. Okay, but it's purposefully got a big P. Perché non è una cosa. So we saw è, that means it is. Now we have the negative, non è, it is not. Perché non è una cosa is not a thing. Una can mean one when it comes before a noun that's feminine. So we've got cosa, which is a feminine noun. It means a thing. It's not a thing or one thing. Che, that, that's the preposition that, conjunction. Okay, I think che is a conjunction. Yes, it's not a preposition, it's a conjunction. Ding. Perché non è una cosa che, it's not a thing that, gli altri, now I feel like we saw this last time. Just trying to think what I was talking about last time. Imparare, so I was talking about the verb imparare, there you go, there's the link. But also I was talking about, oh no, it was a homework for someone, scusatemi. Recently I was typing a comment in someone's homework about using gli, the article gli, in front of a plural noun, masculine noun, like altri, and you use gli altri, like gli italiani, but normally if it was a masculine plural noun you'd say I, like I panini, il panino, one sandwich, the sandwich, I panini, the sandwiches. So when you've got li, G-L-I, it means the, something plural and masculine, that starts with a vowel generally. Altri, other people. Perché non è una cosa che gli altri, it's not a thing that others. Sanno, insegnare. Sanno is from the verb sapere, it means to know. And it's in the loro, they form, because it's not a thing that others, gli altri are others, and as a subject, we're talking about them. Who? The others. They, them. So the verb that follows, gli altri, is in the loro form, sanno, from the verb sapere, also very irregular. So, sai, sa, sappiamo, sapete, is voi, and then sanno, which is they. Non è una cosa che sanno sapere, sanno insegnare. So, like the modal verb dovere here, when you conjugate the verb sapere, you can follow it by another verb. Oh, it's useful, isn't it? So means I know. Non so means I don't know. But if you want to say I know how to teach, so insegnare, I know how to do something. So it's not a thing that others know how to do. What are we talking about? Imparare a gioire, learning to be joyful, to rejoice. So that's something you have to do on your own. Someone can't teach you that. You have to just figure it out yourself. I agree. Okay, up here we have the second bit. La gente, people, right? This is a singular noun. Okay, it's got la in front of it. It's a feminine noun, singular. It happens to have an e at the end instead of like your usual a. La gente. But even though it's a singular noun, it's talking about more than one person. Okay, so it's a bit confusing. That happens sometimes in lots of languages, but in English as well. So la gente is people, but remember, we're not using the loro form, we're using the third person singular because it's a singular word. La gente ha talmente paura della gioia. People have such fear of joy. This is true. I think lots of people are suffering, whether they like to admit it or not, with a fear of happiness because they don't feel they deserve it. And we touch upon that bit at the end, and I think it's causing a lot of heartache and pain for lots of people. And it's very sad. So if that's something you're going through, I hope you know how to be joyful and how to be happy, because if you do, reach for it, okay? You deserve it. You really do. And you've just got to learn to believe that. I believe that about myself. And I hope that anyone I encounter feels that they deserve to be happy as well, because you really do. And if you believe that, then and you have love to put out into the world, and you're willing to love yourself, it all sounds like blah 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 hippie stuff, but you know, it's true. You just have to get to a point in your life where you really understand it. So that's where I am at the moment. Let's go back to this. La gente ha talmente paura della gioia. People have such fear of joy. Talmente. Have a look at that word, talmente, because there's variations of tale, and it means such, but it's like it means a lot, like such fear of joy. La gioia means joy, and so we've got della gioia here, because normally if you have a fear of something, ho paura di qualcosa, then you've got the preposition di, and the preposition that follows, depending on like a fear of the dark, fear of, I don't know, spiders, whatever. So you need to join the preposition di with whatever article it is, and it's la gioia. So di and la together becomes della. People have such fear of joy. Immagino che. So this is the writer talking now. It's in the io form. I imagine that. I guess that. I imagine that. Io immagino che, from the verb immaginare, te ne sarai già accorta. I don't know if you can see this. Can I zoom in? No, I can't do that in this mode. Darn. She'll have to bring the board closer. So that means I imagine that you're already aware of this. You already realise this. Accorto, accorta, to be aware. So I think this is from the verb accorgersi. This is like accorta or accorto. Remember, he's addressing cara ragazza. So this adjective here, that's annoying. Yeah, right, it's in the reflexive. Accorgere. Yeah, to notice, to realise. So let me see if I can find, I don't think I'll be able to. I'm looking for a conjugation of this. Yes, there's a discussion here on the forum about accorgersi nel passato, in the past. Done. Can't find it. I don't want to do research while I'm talking to you, but it's basically accorgersi is the not reciprocal, reflexive verb. See how just my head's not quite right at the moment. The reflexive verb, which means to notice or to realise. So accorto or accorta are the adverbs and also the past participles, I think. We'll look at that when I've actually got a little link I can follow, because at the moment I typed in accorgersi to word reference and they don't have a conjugation tool for it, which is quite weird. Anyway, I imagine that you te ne sarai già accorta. Già means already. G-I-A, with a little accent over the A. Già. We'll come back to accorgersi at some point. I haven't got much, non ho molto tempo oggi. Io devo andarsene. I have to get off in a minute. I have to go away in a minute. Devo andarsene. Right. Quando vedono la gioia di qualcuno, when they see, talking about la gente now, but this is in the third person plural, okay? Talking about them, people, okay? Them, those people, I mean. Quando vedono la gioia di qualcuno, when they see the joy of someone, somebody's joy, basically when they see someone is joyful, I più si innervosiscono. Another reflexive verb, quite negative. Most of them, I più si innervosiscono, get annoyed or get angry. Some people don't like seeing other people happy. For me, it's a strange thing. Why wouldn't you want to see people happy? But here's a good reason, or here's an explanation of how they feel. E quando poi, oh no, scusa, I've missed a line. Si sentono in qualche modo defraudati. Si sentono is from sentirsi, it means they feel, it's reflexive. They feel in qualche modo, in some way, defraudati. So that's another plural adjective there. It means cheated, like defrauded, if you like. Imagine feeling cheated when you see someone happy. That tells you that you're not happy about something in yourself, you know. I think there's lots of people like that in the world, sadly. E quando poi, and then, e quando poi, and when then, e quando poi, provano, that's from provare, when they try, loro stessi, when they themselves try, un po', a little, un po' di gioia, a bit of joy, and then when they try a little bit of joy for themselves, allora, then, fanno di tutto, they do everything, per sbarazzarsene. Now this is the one I have to check, because I can't remember whether it means like to run away from it. What's the, to escape? Sbarazzare. Sbarazzare. Yes. Ah, yeah, to get rid. So, sì, scusa. I don't really know this verb. Sbarazzarsene. Okay. To get away from, or to get it out of them. There you go. To get it out of them. Get it away from them. So to throw, to clear, or to get shot of, or to get rid of, or to free yourself from. So that's various translations for this verb. Allora, so when they try a little bit of joy for themselves, some people do everything, fanno di tutto, that's from the verb fare, which means to do or to make. Sparazzarsene, to eliminate the joy, to get shot of it, get rid of it. La sfogano, so this is the word to vent or to clear out. Sfogare, to unload, to pour out, to vent, to escape, or to let off steam, depending on, or to vent, to get something off, to get something out of you, basically, or to get something out of something else. La sfogano, so they vent it out. La refers to la gioia. In fretta, that means in a hurry, like they're urgently trying to get rid of something. Come se, as if, that literally means as if. Come se fosse, fosse is the imperfect subjunctive. It just means as if it were. As if it were. Okay, so that's an imperfect subjunctive. Don't worry about that if you're not sure what it is, but it is like a mood that certain situations or certain phrases require a change of the verb. So instead of come se era is the verb essere in the third person singular, it, he, she, or it, in the imperfect. Era, that's the indicative. But this is the imperfect subjunctive, which is a change. So as if it were uno starnuto, as if it were a sneeze, like the act of sneezing, like that, trying to get rid of something out of your body. We're still talking about joy here, okay? E intanto, and so in doing so, and in doing this, più o meno, more or less, più is more, meno, less, o means or, segretamente, secretly, so more or less secretly, si rattriscono. Now, I think that might be an ARE verb. Let me, so this is the verb to get, it's an ARE verb. Rattristano. Let me just double check this then. Rattristare. To get, rattristarsi. Why is it so hard? Sì, rattristano. Rattristano. Yes, excuse me. This should be rattristano. I think I was getting mixed up with innervosiscono, which ends with O-N-E. But this is rattristano from rattristare. Triste is the adjective which means sad. And rattristare is to become sad or to get sad. So when people try a little bit of joy for themselves after seeing someone else joyful and kind of feeling a bit cheated, they, what was the word? Why can't I remember that one? Unload it, escape it, get away from it. I find it quite similar to sfogare. Get rid, get shot of it. La sfogano in fretta come se fosse uno starnuto. They vent it off, they get rid of it, they escape them. They let it out of them. In fretta, in a hurry. Come se fosse uno starnuto, as if it was a sneeze. E intanto, and therefore in doing so, più o meno segretamente, more or less secretly, si rattristano. So that's an A and O at the end. From rattristare, to get sad, they get sad. Perché, again that means because. It can also mean why, but here it means because. Perché li hanno inculcato, inculcare, to make someone think, basically. Inculcare. Sorry, I can't remember all these words. You can kind of understand the meaning of something and not find the, Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this does have a very vulgar translation, but I'm going to try and give you the not so vulgar one, which is to get cheated or screwed, if you like. That's kind of vulgar, but there's even more vulgar than that, which you can go and find yourself. Perché gli hanno inculcato che? Because they have. What's the word? Oh no, yeah, that's why I'm getting that wrong. Inculcare is not that word. Look up a word which is quite similar to inculcare and take out the second C. Yes, to instill, to inculcate. Yes, sorry. It's quite funny though, because inculare and inculcare are one letter off. So look up inculare, which is to screw someone over or to cheat them. But inculcare, that's the word, is to instill. Someone has instilled something in someone, right? That was quite rude, nearly what I said. Perché li hanno inculcato, with a C, che non meritano. Oh, let me see if I can put that down a bit. Because they have instilled in him or her, in them, che non meritano cose tanto belle, that they don't deserve. Meritare is to deserve or to merit. Cose is the plural of cosa, things. Tanto means so much or so. Belle, beautiful. Le cose belle. Didn't I do a video on le cose belle? Yeah. Film about. Well, anyway. Excuse me. See how my mind, I just wander off. I still think it's quite funny how I almost got that completely wrong, that bit there. So the reason that people can get angry or annoyed when they see someone else is joyful and then they try a bit of joy for themselves and they realise they can't deal with it, they have to get rid of the joy and get sad. The reason is because someone has instilled in their mind that they don't deserve things that are so beautiful as joy is. So isn't that sad? I think that's true. Someone has instilled it in them that they're not worthy. And that, I think, is why people might be sad and might be treating other people in a bad way. Awful. Perché li hanno inculcato che non meritano cose tanto belle, because someone has instilled in them, to instill, not to screw or to cheat. Tu invece, let's end on a positive. Tu, remember we're addressing cara ragazza. You, however, girl. Invece means instead. Impari, that's the to form of the verb imparare, to learn. You are learning, or you learn, you're learning. Preparati, get ready. Preparati is from prepararsi, which means to prepare oneself, or in English we would probably say get ready. Dunque, eccola. There it is, la poesia. I think it's a poem anyway. I'll try and get I'll try and verify the actual name of that if there isn't a title. But thank you for listening. Check out Igor Sibaldi, and if you want to be a member of my Italian club, just get in touch, send me an email, or you can go to morelanguagesolutions.com and look at my language clubs page. And all throughout this month, November, and next month, December 2023, and January 2024, there's a 20% discount if you purchase a club membership, and then you've got other benefits like a discount on block bookings of one-to-one tuition with me. So I'll write it down, www.mo, like my name, language solutions.com. If you go there, look for language clubs and you can become a club member, so you'll get your monthly Italian or French video direct to your email along with a handout that you can print off and complete and come back to at any point. And you also get a discount on one-to-one tuition with me. Grazie mille. Buona giornata, buona serata, buona settimana e alla prossima volta. Ciao. See you next time, guys. Bye.